not because I want to be famous or I want to be rich, but because I want as many people to be able to hear this message and be able to hear what I went through and think, wow, that's what I'm going through. Look at that guy, you know? I like to think that I've achieved that on some small level.
Yeah.
So I feel good coming back home and doing a show here.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Soul Serum podcast. I am your When the Sky Falls Down, I'll Be Here Waiting for You host, Clay Bonine. I am joined by my Inside My Morbid Mind co-host, Tanner Mavis.
Yes, sir.
Man,
y'all know we had to do it to him.
You know we had to do it to him. Let's not waste any time. Let me do my intro so we can get right into it, because today on the show, we have what so many Soul Serum fans have been waiting for. Our guest is a man with a guitar, and when he's not in front of a microphone, you can catch him cooking up some delectable meals, spreading positivity and solidarity, or somewhere at a public park playing music. He is somebody who is integral I fucked up the word. He's somebody who's integral. He's somebody who's important to Soul Serum's early success, and now we finally get to sit down and talk about it with him. Today on the show, we have Jack Kays. Can we get a clap from the studio audience in the back? Jack, thank you for being here, dude.
Dude, no, thank you for having me, for real.
I'm so happy that we could finally do this, 83 episodes in.
You have no idea.
And you know what, man? Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
I love meat and potatoes.
So,
You do. You be cooking up hella.
I'm cooking up meat and potatoes.
The potatoes with the mayo.
Oh, shit.
I tried that.
now.
Yeah?
Fire.
Crispy.
Yeah.
Flavorful.
I have cooking questions for the back end of the podcast. So
Okay.
let's not step on my questions here,
Amen.
fellas. Please. You know what? I want to work backwards in this interview. I want to start with, I feel like interviews usually, it's like, what's your origin story? Where are you from? But we kind of already know that. So I want to just go ahead and start and talk about the newest EP that you have, Cessation.
Yes.
5-track, raw, emotional EP. This to me, I mean, in my personal opinion, I feel like it's like an evolution in your artistry. Like you've really started to hone in on your songwriting and your performances. And it's not to say that you haven't before, but I feel like you're like extremely focused on Cessation. Is that accurate to say?
100%.
Yeah.
I wanted it to showcase my songwriting and my guitar playing abilities. That was one of my biggest intentions with it.
Yeah. And I think you definitely achieved that in.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, wait.
No, you're fine, man.
We'll cut that. It's all good. I edit it, we
Coming
cut
back
it.
from, oh my God.
Do you need a water? What do you?
Yeah.
You gotta. Hey, can we get the guy some water, please?
We're like 10 minutes in
Where's
and I can't speak.
Where's my PA?
There you go.
Thank you, Fiki.
This man has been on a nationwide tour, man.
I know, yeah. This is just the trials and tribulations.
If y'all
of
seen
tour
any
right
videos,
here.
this man is just screaming.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What just happened? We start the podcast. My voice is just like, oof.
I don't know, man. Are you nervous? You nervous right now?
So nervous right now.
But to stay with Cessation here, one thing that really stood out to me on the project was the atmosphere of it. Because listening to your other projects, re-listening to them leading up to the podcast, like they felt more to me like collections of songs where this one, a collection of different songs, whereas this one is like a very thorough through line of songs. Like
for sure.
You have the fire crackling in the background, the wind. Run me through the thought process on including like those elements to make the atmosphere.
Well, the first thing was like coming off of Mixed Emotions and My Favorite Nightmares. I wanted to do something that felt completely different, but I also wanted to do something that felt like really cohesive. And I had 50 songs to choose from.
Damn.
And so I wrote them all on a whiteboard. And I sat down with my girlfriend Chala, and I was like, I got to make a project out of this. And we marked 5 songs that were like, these like make so much sense together.
Yeah.
And And then I already had recorded versions of all them, but we went to the desert and like recorded new versions for each one of them in the same atmosphere to make it feel like one.
Okay, well I was like, when you were telling me when you had 50 songs and you picked these 5, I was like, well, damn, that's kind of like, they all already like felt like this, but then to go to the desert and
we marked them like, I color coded them like, oh, this is a pop punk song. Yeah. This is a rap song. This is a piano ballad. And this is an acoustic song. Those were like the 4 color codings.
Interesting.
And there was like 10 acoustic songs, but there was only 5 that like really felt like they went together.
Mm-hmm. So when you said the desert, you're out at Joshua Tree, right?
Joshua Tree.
How was that experience?
It's the coolest 2 weeks of my life.
That's awesome.
Out there with Chica and Sam, my manager, and Chala, who did all the visuals for everything.
Yeah.
I put my phone in my suitcase for the whole time, and I just went to work, dude.
That's so sick.
That's awesome.
Recording all day.
Yeah.
I cooked all the meals.
Of course.
We climbed a mountain.
Did you all stay like in an Airbnb or something out there?
Yeah,
like, what was like the house situation of the
We got an
situation?
Airbnb that was like sitting in the middle of nothing.
I've seen it on Airbnb before. I've actually looked at it.
Yeah, dude, I saw it and I'm thinking that's the one right there.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Big windows.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I was really particular about was I didn't want anything on the walls. So it was completely white interior with cement floors, like very bare.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything that would stop me from like I wanted no exterior influence whatsoever.
Yeah.
That was like very important.
Yeah.
And I think I achieved that. Like, you know, I've made a lot of music at this point, and this EP, Cessation, like feels the most like me out of anything that I've ever made.
Do you think it's important to like, as an artist, to like submerge yourself and plan like, I guess, songwriting sessions or whatever, like creative ideas for like your next project in environments like a Joshua Tree or wherever you would like to, you know, experiment with new sounds and whatnot? Because I feel like a lot of artists kind of are in the same routine. They go to the same studio with the same, at least local independent artists. That's mostly our audience right now.
You know, I think there's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
With My Favorite Nightmares, like I was in the same studio for all of it. And like, you know, that was incredible. And I think we made awesome art. I think like, oh man, that's a great question. I actually, you know, I will say, I do think it's important to be intentional about where you're recording and who you're recording with. When I wanted to make a pop punk song, I knew I had to do it with Travis. And when I wanted to make an acoustic song, I knew I had to do it in the most Barebones way possible. I think it's definitely very important to be intentional about how you're going to record and how you're going to write.
Yeah. That's like the best answer. It really reflects in your music too.
Thank you.
Super, super intentional. Like you're thinking about how it or everything that you're putting into
I really do. And like from the way the album cover is, from the way the videos are, like I told my label before we did the EP, I don't want to do any produced music videos. It's going to be live performance videos. And if we do a music video, it's going to be VHS footage of when we were recording the songs. Everything. And that's like, you know, it all adds up to like a project. And you can tell when somebody just kind of throws something together. You can tell when somebody puts some intention behind it. And I never want people to see something that I do and think, oh, he just...
Those are the throwaways.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the throwaways. Like, I don't want that.
That's a really... I mean, yeah, like Tanner said, it definitely reflects in your music. And it's like, I think... that gets lost a little bit in like the modern music making era because like right now with everything sitting in front of us, like we could make an album, we could record. Yeah, we are recording right now. As a matter of fact,
everything is a product. You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, like that's great for capitalism, but like for art, it's not that great. You know?
Yeah.
And I would much rather. I've gotten a lot of questions like, would you like, why don't you put out an album and like more of a long project? And I'm like. Because I haven't made 12 songs that feel like an album yet. I've made 4 songs that feel like an album. I've made 5 songs. I'm not even like the only reason that I call it an EP is because that's what streaming platforms want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like the technical term.
That's like the technical term so that it can fit into a record label, into a deal. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, like it's just a project. It's something that I worked on.
Yeah.
That's why the album cover says Cessation, a collection of songs by Jack Kays.
Right.
Because that's really how I saw it. I was like, this is a collection of songs. Mm-hmm. If I could have it labeled on Spotify as a collection of songs, I would. You know?
New collections
really
of songs.
About like what you put on covers and stuff like that. Like, I don't know.
People don't take album covers seriously enough.
No.
Sometimes they just take a picture and slap it on there. But like, I think an album cover is so important, and it's a way for you to extend meaning and for you to paint a picture that otherwise wouldn't be painted. So I always take a lot of care into like what is going to be the photo behind my album.
Mm-hmm. This is a good time to segue into another question here, and I think it would be inappropriate to go this interview without mentioning Chala, who is your partner of many years, but also plays a big part in how Jack Kays, in quotation marks, Jack Kays is presented and branded.
100%.
So talk to me about like the importance of having someone like her in your corner, to somebody that you trust, especially with your visuals, with your merch.
So Chala's been my best friend since high school, right? And my partner for many years. Shout out Chala. She's the best.
Yeah. Shout out Chala.
And there is nobody that understands me and that knows me the way that Chala knows me. And so when it comes to helping me paint a picture with visuals, I'm more of the audio guy. Mm-hmm. Chala is the one that will know how to do it the most accurately, you know? Yeah. She knows my best angles, like from stuff like as simple as that.
Yeah.
She knows the best way to take a picture of me because she looks at me all day and she knows like this angle looks good. Like lift your head up. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes she's like,
she's like,
that angle you kind of ugly.
That's not like you don't look good in that picture. You know what I mean? But then also she's there in the studio with me. I'm at home talking to her about music. She is there with me most of the time when I write a song. Mm-hmm. So she knows every meaning. She knows every which way that it could go. And she knows exactly how to help me like bring a deeper meaning to this. Yeah. And I think the Cessation album cover is a perfect example of that.
For sure.
I like that one. And I liked, I think it was on her Instagram, like the picture of what is it, a pomegranate? Is that what you're eating?
Yeah.
Like the pomegranate on the ground with the knife. I was like,
and that was actually on the ground below me during the shoot.
Yeah.
Because we sat there, that pomegranate, we ordered like a box of 8 of them, and we sat there for an hour, and I got into this mindset that this pomegranate was the only thing that I've had to eat for months, and that it's the only thing that I'm going to have to eat.
Yeah.
And so like, I think Sam was there, and I saw his face at one point, and there was fear in that man's eyes because of the way I really enveloped like the character. I was like, this is me right now. And I ate that thing like an animal.
What is your intention behind that? Like artistically, like does the pomegranate hold a special meaning?
The pomegranate holds a very special meaning.
Okay, I didn't want to like overstep and seem like I'm like going like English teacher, but like
it's extremely metaphorical.
Okay, fucking lay it on me, man. If I may ask,
it is some top tier English class shit.
Yeah,
let me tell you,
you're gonna get me fucking juiced.
Okay, so Cessation is an album that track 1 to track 5, it's chronicling my life, right? Mm-hmm. Track 1 is age 17, maybe 15, 16, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The last track is me looking into the future, and there's all the time in between that is chronological, right? Mm-hmm. And I have this theory that in life, in order for something to be, in order for something to live, something else has to stop being and something else has to die. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you want to become a new person, you have to kill the person that you were before. Yep. You want new habits, you have to break the old habits. It's as simple as that, right? Yeah. In some cultures, the pomegranate represents life, but in other cultures, the pomegranate represents death. Depends what culture you're researching. Mm-hmm. So me devouring the pomegranate is me completely accepting, not only accepting, it's me embracing the idea of life and death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the meaning.
That's fucking insane.
Dude, that was if I was your English teacher, dude, you're getting an A+ on that essay question. Right,
and you know, Chala and I sat in my studio, and we took these 5 songs and we went into the meaning of all of them, and we figured out how do they connect, what's the order of them, how do they connect in this order, and then we thought, okay, what are the main themes in here, and what can we find to represent that? And I think, it's fruit would be cool. And we look up, okay, what's the fruit of life? Pomegranate. What's the fruit of death? Pomegranate. And I'm like, I believe that like creativity comes from the universe. I believe 100%. That like everything that is and was all exists in this one place. I call it the vault, right?
Yeah.
And like when I found that and I was like, the pomegranate represents both these things, I thought that is God.
Dang, you had a real spiritual...
Extremely
spiritual... Wow, so that even plays into the album itself. It's not even...
And that's another reason that I went to the desert, because I'm thinking, okay, how can I get in touch with this place where I think everything is, you know? You know, what did all of our religious figures do when they wanted to go talk to God? They went to the desert.
Yeah.
So how can I make the truest version of these songs? I can go there and I can just hear myself and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even to that point, the desert is a place where a lot of things go and die, or a lot of things don't survive.
Exactly.
But also a lot of things.
Life thrives in the desert.
Exists. A very
and that's something that was
unique type of
beautiful
life.
to me. You know, we're in this place and it's barren.
Yeah.
And it's so hot we can't go outside most of the day. But like one day a coyote walked past our window and there's birds on the ground and there's plants growing. And I'm like, yo,
how the fuck are y'all out here?
everything just comes together perfectly here.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That is good intention in art right there. Like,
thank you.
Like you went into this project, into this situation with intention, and I feel like the universe helped pay it off.
It guided me.
Yeah.
You know, I think the universe had intention for this project and I helped pay it off. I think it's the other way around.
It's a little handshake between you and the universe.
Yes. So, you know, sometimes when you write music, you get little glimpses of this place where it feels like the song is just happening, right?
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'm writing a song and it happens for like a verse or for a hook, and then for the rest of the song I fill it in, right? And the reason that these 5 songs really felt like they went together is because I thought every single one of these songs, top to bottom, I didn't have to think about when I was writing. I like sat down with my guitar one day and I opened my eyes and the song was here and it was written on paper.
I think that when musicians say like things like that, like where they have that slip of time where that intangible thing happens and the song just creates itself, like, dude,
it's that shit. And I chase that high.
Yeah.
You know? That's that shit right there.
Yeah.
It's like divine intervention.
Yeah.
Literally, dude. It's really divine. I love it.
I want to ask one more question about the project before we start to take it back in time in the interview here. But is it hard for you to write songs that are so vulnerable? And like what I mean by that is like I think a lot of people have a hard time being vulnerable, even in just like everyday interactions with people. And you're making songs on this project where we get some real genuine emotion. And sometimes it's like the emotion isn't pretty and it's hard to deal with, you know? Like, do you ever have second thoughts about like spilling your, you know, insides?
That kind of goes back to what I was just saying. You know, you would think it would be hard to like write about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think about it, man. Like for 28, for example, like that's I think one of my saddest songs and one of my most soul bearing songs where I talk about some really tough shit on there. And I remember when I sat down and my fingers start playing the guitar part and I go boom dum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum, and then I literally got my notebook out and I blacked out and I came back and the clock was an hour different and like the song was just there.
Wow.
And it's really like stuff like that. I'm fully convinced it's coming from somewhere else. You know, first I was raised an atheist, but after having experiences like writing songs like 28, I fully believe in something larger than myself. And I truly think that there is this place. There's actually theories about it called the Akashic Vaults. Some people call it the collective consciousness. But it's, you know, like people say Albert Einstein was connected to it, John Lennon was connected to it,
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla was connected to it. It's this place where these ideas, these things, creative ideas, scientific ideas, they already exist, you know? Like time is just an illusion for us, but all these things are
Just
already here.
floating.
Yeah, and if you
in
can
the
get yourself
intangibles.
exactly, if you can get yourself in the right headspace and grab onto those things for a moment, you know, you can have something that can like not only like express yourself, but like express something for other people, you know? And like after I wrote 28, I sang it for Chala and she was like, you shouldn't put that out. She was like, that's too fucked up.
Too far.
Yeah, she was like, I think that might be pushing it a little bit too far. But I think it's the best song on the EP. It's the realest song and it's heartbreaking and it's soul crushing. But like, who the fuck am I? Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Who the
Fuck yeah.
fuck am I to be the guy that's gonna stop that song from going out into the world? When like truly, I don't think it's my song. You know? It was already there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I just happen to be the medium for it. But like, who am I to stop it?
It hits deep for me because I'm 27, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm facing 28 years old and I've had a lot of similar feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I hadn't even heard the song out and I heard the snippet when you were playing it live. I was like, holy, like it was like a dagger to like my chest, but like,
Yeah, dude. And when I play it, like,
in a-
I feel
but, like,
like
in a
shit
good
when
way.
I play it, you know, like I'm thinking all these thoughts and I'm playing it. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
sing the words, you know. I play the guitar part and I immediately have a lump in my throat. And I don't even remember writing it, you know.
Yeah.
like that
That's
shit's
crazy.
crazy.
Does it feel necessary though? Like, do you like it? To me, it sounds like you almost have some sort of like necessity to like explore that and put that song out. Right?
Yeah.
And perform it.
No, it definitely feels necessary, and like that's what I'm talking about when I say like I believe I'm a medium
Yeah.
for like the music that I write. It sounds crazy. When I told my label this, they were like,
They were like, whoa.
Literally, they were
whoa,
like-
dude, okay.
I was like, but like on some real shit, like it feels like I found a penny on the street when I write a song. It's just already there, you know. Like
Yeah.
I didn't make that money, like I just found it. And when I write it, I immediately feel like my next job, like my next purpose with that song is to go and show it to as many people as I possibly can.
How is that play? That kind of relates to like playing in the park or playing at what was it, Venice Beach or
Yeah,
Santa
dude,
Monica?
100%.
Like-
and letting people walk past
Yeah.
and hear whatever they need to hear.
Yeah.
And people came up to me after that show and they were like, I have no idea who you are, but like that song you just sang like struck a chord with me, you know?
that's so crazy.
And like
That's
that
the
shit just
best.
makes me believe it even more.
That's
you know,
the
I'm
best
like,
feeling.
fuck, like thank God I came out here today.
Yeah.
Something put me out here today.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy, man.
Speaking of, let's take it back a little bit. Let's speak about the universe coming together for collaborative stuff. I've heard it from Tanner's point of view before, but I would like to hear from your side. Let's talk about the origin. Take me
Yeah, man.
through the Morbid Mind story, like when Tanner and John and Soul Serum hit you up to do it. Like, just I want to
Okay.
hear it from your perspective because I've heard it
So-
from the other side.
With Morbid Mind, first things first is I got home from work that one day and I sat down with my guitar. I had never written a song on the guitar before. I had been playing for years, but I'd never written a song on the guitar. And I sat down and I started strumming and I woke up 25 minutes later and the song was here.
that's so crazy.
Another one.
It was
A
a
lot of
divine...
people don't know like you weren't making like music on the
I was
guitar.
making straight trap music.
Yeah, like you
know
were like
what
a
I mean?
SoundCloud rapper.
The first song I ever saw was the one where you're in the smoke shop, like
Yeah, bro, retail.
Yes,
I was
yeah,
making
yeah.
straight trap music
Yeah.
because that's the life that I was living. I was selling drugs.
Right.
I was working in a restaurant and I was just trying to make money and
Yeah.
like do my thing. But like to step away from this for a little bit, like that's the first time that I would be connected is when I would get really fucking high and I would wake up the next day with 6 songs on my computer because I got high enough to like talk to whatever power. And like over time I got good enough to do that sober. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Morbid Mind, I wrote that one day, had no recollection of it, sat on it for a few months, put the song out. I didn't know how to market. I wasn't on TikTok. I was just posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was my most successful song even then. Had like 2,000 plays. And one day I get a message from this guy, John Buchanan. He says, hey, I'm with Soul Serum. I saw your song Morbid Mind. I really want to do a music video for it. Like, get in contact with me. And I knew who Soul Serum was, so immediately I messaged back. I'm like, yo, I'd love to, but like, I don't have any money. Like, I'm broke as shit, you know? And they're like, free of charge, dude. Like, we just want to work with artists that we fuck with. And the next thing I say is, I don't have an idea for the music video. So I didn't think that I was going to do a music video for it. Like, if you want to do this video, like, I'm down, but I'm telling you, and if I don't like it, I'm not going to put it out. I don't know if you remember that, John.
Fair enough.
And I went to their house.
The purple house?
The purple house.
Purple house, dude.
Expecting to, like, just meet some dudes that just, like, want to throw together a music video. Because I'd been working with, like, trap music video directors who just, like, they're like, all right, we'll do a shot here and do a shot here.
Yeah.
And this man, John, pulls up a Google Maps coordinate of where he wants to shoot the music video. And I immediately knew, I was like, oh, this is somebody who works like I do, you know?
Yeah.
They work with intention.
Intention,
They don't just throw some shit together. They do shit very intentionally.
Yeah.
And my energy like immediately changed. I was like, okay, like,
You're locked in.
what do I need to do? You know? I went to the thrift store and got an outfit that I thought like characterized the song well. Like, we did what fit.
Yeah.
And, you know, we drove out 40 minutes or an hour, some shit, to some road, and we shot the music video for, I think it was like 2 hours it took.
Yeah, something like that.
You know?
Did any cars even pass by you all?
Yeah, cars were passing by me.
Bro, you remember when that one dude that
Dude.
his like cousin or something
No, we
said
were
he
like
owned
shooting
the
in
land?
front of this farm, right?
Yeah.
And like like we were gonna like set my guitar on fire, and we like smashed my guitar because at the end of the music video I set it on fire.
Yeah.
We smashed my guitar, and I'm pouring lighter fluid on it, and this guy pulls up and he's like, "Yo, my cousin Chris lives at this farm and he's fucking crazy."
That's literally what he
was like-
said.
He was like,
That's
"You don't want to
literally
do
what
that
he
here."
And he drove off.
And he drove
we did it
away,
anyway.
and I was like, "Let's do this shit quick. Set the guitar on fire."
I don't want Chris to come out here and
You know,
see it,
pour
man.
some water bottles on it, put the ashes in the trunk, like put the burnt guitar in the trunk of Chica's car and drove off.
Looking back on it, that was such a bad idea. Like
But it was so sick.
it was so sick.
The end
But
of
lighting
that
a
music
guitar in
video,
the middle of
dude,
a
do you
field
remember
in the summer.
You guys paid some dude to react to the music video. And he watches the music video and he gets to the
no,
credits.
we didn't pay, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he just found it. I know
That's
who
fire.
you're talking about though.
He watches the music video and he's like, that was cool. And then he gets to the end of the video and goes, yo, did this dude just set his fucking guitar on fire? That's rad.
Oh wait, no. Patrick CC. I think
Yeah,
you're talking
Patrick
about. We did
CC.
pay him. Yeah.
That shit was, I was like, mission accomplished. Like,
so funny.
That's one of the best fucking ending scenes of a music video that we've ever done. Like, that shit is so rad.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, we put out the music video like as soon as it's done, edited. And I remember like, you know, my sister watched it and she was like, you look like a star in this, you know? Like something clicked with that music video.
Yeah.
Something was very different. It was
Many
I think there was
hairstyles ago,
Yeah,
too,
many
by the
hairstyles
way.
ago. I had this blonde hair. I had just started getting covered in tattoos. Like I was like,
bro, the
I was getting
overalls and the Doc Martens.
literally, I
the
was getting a
blonde hair
tattoo
and the
every
guitar.
week. You know, like I was trying to like make a certain look. It was a combination of things. The look, the new sound of the song. I think it was pretty different for what people were putting out at the time.
Yeah.
And the way the music video looked was so striking.
Those are all great things, but like the song itself. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on there that was going good for that song.
Yeah.
And it was packaged purposefully and very well. And I think like, you know, the reason that I put so much emphasis on the image and what surrounded it is because the song was out for 2 or 3 months before the video came out.
Yeah.
And we put some ads behind the video.
Yep.
And it started performing well immediately.
It was doing really good.
It was doing really good. And I remember
did it for like
thinking,
2 weeks.
wow, like I think, you know, this might actually be something.
Yeah.
And then one day, this dude I started having labels hitting me up and shit.
Yeah.
And one day, this random motherfucker from United Talent Agency reaches out to me. His name is Sam Katz. And we get on a call and he says, "Are you posting on TikTok?" And I said, "Fuck no." And he said, "You should post on
You're like,
TikTok."
that shit's lame, dude. I don't
Literally,
wanna
he was
fucking
like,
do
"You should
that."
post on TikTok." And I was like, "All right." So very lazily, I took a vertical clip of the music video that John cut for me. And I remember I had multiple people tell me that's not the kind of video that works on TikTok. You shouldn't post it like that. And then I post the video, and the next day I woke up and it has like 200,000 views, and I got 6,000 followers on TikTok in a night. And now I see 1 million music videos cut vertical on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's very common format now.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is.
And I'm not trying to claim anything, but I was on TikTok for years before that, studying it so that I could see what people were doing that was working, because I knew there was something in it.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen somebody post a vertical music video. And we did that, and that shit fucking worked, and like it's been history ever since, dude.
Yeah.
So crazy. And that
Insane.
was like, that was low key, like, not early TikTok, but like it was kind of early.
It was very early.
and
as
like,
far as artists rising on TikTok, it was very early.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
like, it was just like perfect timing. And like it was 2020. So like, not that you were on like the MGK pop punk sound, but like there's similar elements of what that was at that time.
No,
I thought you brought something like a totally different variation.
New layer to it. Yeah.
And kids on that platform obviously resonate.
Yeah, and I think people were searching for something different. It had been a long time of emo rap, and pop punk was just finally making a resurgence.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anybody putting out acoustic music.
Right.
And I found my lane like that day when I posted on TikTok. I was like, this is who I am. Like, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So crazy.
It feels right. Like, for the longest time, I had made music that didn't necessarily felt like good to make, but it didn't feel like my identity was so intertwined in this.
For sure.
But when I say I'm the man with the guitar, like that instrument is so seriously a part of my identity, and it makes so much sense for me to play the acoustic guitar. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. I liked hearing that from your side of the story. And also like the thought of you pulling up to the Soul Serum house and John just has a GPS coordinate. You're like, what's up, guys?
Hey, dude, we pulled up and we were like,
I just know John's like, we're going here.
We rolled like 3 backwoods and sat in their living room and just like smoked down. Like,
yeah. Bro, I literally remember that day, bro. Like when you and Chica were in our living room, like we planned out the music video, and then
we were looking at all your different merch items, like ashtrays and fucking random shit that you like, Soul Serum shit. I was like, man, these people. I remember I walked away. I was like, they're so legit. Like they have brand identity. Yeah. They know what they're doing. They know what they want. I was like, that is the type of shit that I want to surround myself with.
Fuck yeah, yeah. Speaking of things to surround yourself with. Or first of all, you're doing really great with your media training, because this is another great segue into a question here. You said in that answer that a man by the name of Sam Katz contacted you. And as I was prepping for the interview, obviously I read the Cincinnati Enquirer article that was just released.
Amazing article.
And something, shout out, I hope I don't pronounce her name wrong. Is it Bebe? BB Hodges. Shout
Honestly,
out BB
that's
Hodges.
the most legendary reporter name of all time.
I know. I was like doing research. I was like, who wrote this? I was like,
that's a hard name.
Damn,
for
BB Hodges.
Journalist name right
Don't
there.
tell me you were not made to be a journalist.
She have like the little journalist like hat and like a notepad.
She's like, I'm BB Hodges. On the case. No.
That's so funny.
But something that stood out to me in that was it says that your manager, Sam, and your lawyer basically, quote, wrote your own deal with Columbia.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean? And like, why were you in such a special position to do so?
So I wrote my own deal with Columbia in a sense, yes. It was very strange. We had gotten a couple offers. None of them were quite what we wanted. Mm-hmm. And I was talking with Ron Perry, who's the CEO of Columbia. He's a great guy. He's still, we're in contact all the time. Obviously, he's the one that signed me at Columbia.
Shout out Ron.
Shout out Ron, if you're watching this, man.
Thanks for watching the podcast, Ron.
Thanks for watching the podcast. And, we had a couple phone calls, like one-on-one phone calls, as well as like phone calls with the whole team. Mm-hmm. Columbia just seemed like they had their shit together. I really liked that there was like interest from the top to the bottom. I thought that was really nice. Mm-hmm. Sam kept saying, it's not really about the name of the company. It's about the people in the room. And the people in the room there were the right people for me. Mm-hmm. And I thought, this is where I want to be. I like this.
Yeah.
And if memory serves me correctly, we had Josh, my lawyer, send them the terms, like how we wanted our deal to look. And they sent back basically a contract that was like identical to what the terms that we wanted. A couple tweaks were made, obviously, to try to make it more in their favor. And, you know, we go back and forth maybe 5 times and sign it. It was right, you know? And it's an incredible, I'm extremely blessed.
Yeah.
So
Be in the situation that I'm in.
to being able to like write your own deal, essentially for like artists watching, like you had leverage, you know, like going into the deal, like
And I think a lot of people try to villainize record labels. You know?
they do.
And obviously there are situations where record labels do take advantage of artists. But if you put yourself in the right situation and you make sure that you're not signing with people that you don't trust, I got to know the people that I was signing with. And, you know, Sam and I sat down the night that we were going to sign and we read all 60 pages of my contract, very detailed, made sure that there was nothing in there that I didn't like. And, you know, me and my lawyer know each other very well. He's a great lawyer. He's incredible. And I'd like, if you put yourself in the right position and you're nice to the right people and you form the right relationships, you know, a record label can be a very, very valuable asset, you know, and that's what they are. And not even that, like they can be an extremely good and helpful team. And that's what they are to me. I love my label. I love working with them. I'm very close with everybody that I work with. And I'm very grateful every single day to be at Columbia. And like, this isn't like gun to my head right now.
No, I mean?
You're reading a cue card over here from Columbia.
Yeah, no, like I truly do. Like, you know, they're at the show. They come to the green room afterwards. I give them a huge hug. Yeah. Like, you know, I see Ron, I dap him up. Like, that's my boy. You know what I mean? He calls me. He's like, what's up, man? Like, we're talking about what I want to fucking do with my career and how I want this shit to look. Yeah. And we have identical visions for how we want it to look. And I have an incredible deal. I own my touring, I own my merch. It's not like a 360 kind of thing. I'm extremely lucky to be in the situation that I'm in.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Because like you said, a lot of people villainize record labels and a lot of wild things do come out of record labels.
Crazy shit happens, poorly. Man.
But more the negative shit spreads faster than like the positive. For any,
you know what I mean?
You know, labels aren't for everyone.
Common for somebody, like people love to harp on the success story or on the negative stories. And then when somebody's successful at a label, they call them an industry plant. And it's like, yo, an industry plan is just a perfect example of a label doing their job. Man. Is it not? You know what I mean? Like, that's just when the label is successful.
Yeah,
it's 100% correct.
Low-key,
and I'll tell you from somebody who's signed to one of the biggest labels in the world that, like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Has anyone called you a plant?
Yeah.
it's low-key a good thing, is it not?
It's great. I'm like, yeah, when we dropped Mixed Emotions, dude, it was fucking everywhere. And I'm like, what? You guys are ridiculous. I've been in the basement with no insulation making music for years. You know, I worked for this.
It's probably only because like when Morbid Mind started going up, like you and Sam took all the songs down.
Yeah, exactly.
And then came out with one project, but like kids
and the project
don't
did
know
amazing.
Better,
you know what I mean? For a debut project for an artist my size, that project did incredibly. And like people want to see the success of something and they see a label attached to it and they immediately assume. But you know, when you assume things, have you ever heard this saying? You make an ass out of you and me.
Yes, sir.
Damn, that's a good one.
Sir. The first time I ever saw that or like had an interaction with that was Jack Harlow, because I went to high school with Jack, and like I remember when he first started popping off, everybody in the comments, industry plant. Where's this dude coming from? Industry plant. And I'm just like, well, this is the first time where I can like really, I know, like
literally
that's just
not
true.
Have you ever seen somebody blow up? Like, you know what I mean? Like this shit's common now. We have the internet.
Shout out to the internet.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to vertical videos on TikTok.
Yeah, literally.
Tanner, do you want to go? I know you have some questions in here. I don't want to.
Where are we at?
I don't want to step on.
Like this is more like a Cincinnati like local type of question though.
Yeah.
You came from the area, bro. Like, you know, Cincinnati isn't exactly like, you know, a market for like, you know, not even touring, but just like record labels in general. From my opinion, you could tell me if I'm wrong. You're more.
It's definitely not.
Like they're not really looking like this way as far as like talent and everything goes, bro. Like, but like you, like, correct me if I'm wrong again, but like, you gotta be like one of the biggest artists to come out of the area, and also like have one of the best like biggest deals, quote unquote. You know what I mean? In recent memory of mine, I can't even think of like, I would say I don't know like artists like deals and stuff. Like I know like Walk the Moon came from Cincinnati.
That's
You know
exactly what I
mean?
was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't want to
like,
step on anybody's toes.
No, yeah,
you know,
exactly. But like, you definitely are, bro. Like, have you ever thought about like, you know, what that kind of means to you as far as like coming from where you came from, that basement that you talked about in that Enquirer interview?
You know, I've been in Cincinnati my whole life since first grade. We moved out here, and I have an extreme affection for the city now. But when I first blew up and when I first moved out to DC to be with Chala, I didn't feel that way about the city for a few reasons. Because I felt like I've been grinding in this city for 5 years, doing shows every week, putting out music every month at least, putting my whole fucking heart into this shit. And I haven't felt any like love from the city personally. And just because, for reason number 2 is because I had such a tough time in this city. You know, I was a failing student in school. I didn't have any friends at school. I was very unpopular, and like the friends that I did have, like I wasn't that close with. I'm only talked to a few people from my high school. I got in trouble all the time in high school. And then when I got out of high school, I dealt with addiction and I dealt with alcoholism on the streets of Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati, Clifton area. I went through a very rough time. And, you know, when I left, I wasn't like in the place to like be like, I love my city.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure.
Now I'm in the program and I'm working on myself, and I can say that I have like a new love for this city. And, you know, the way that I'm like trying to express that is by first ending the tour in Cincinnati.
Of course.
I'll always show love to the city and try to like put on my best show in Cincinnati. And the second way is by like hosting the canned food drive that we're doing after the show.
Yeah.
You know, trying to give back to the community, trying to give back to people that aren't going to have anything to eat on Thanksgiving, you know? So I have an extreme fondness for this city now. But when I first started popping off, I did not feel that way.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of resentment towards the city.
Yeah.
You didn't have any reason to feel the love.
Yeah,
for
you
the
know, I
city.
used to hear Jack Harlow talk about Louisville and how like he would step out the door and everybody would be like, "What's up, man?" Like, you know, everybody knew him even before he was famous.
Yeah.
He talks about how he was popular in high school and how he had a huge friend group.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. You know what I mean? I would play rooms of 10 people and these 10 people did not want to be there. You know,
Yeah.
I would watch half of them walk out during the set.
Yeah.
I wasn't friends with anybody in high school. I got bullied pretty bad, like for wearing the clothes that I would wear and for being the kid that was in theater and in marching band and wanted to play piano more than he wanted to sit in the cafeteria. So that's just my experience.
Yeah.
But now looking back, like I do have extreme love for this city and I love it here.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be able to like finish out the tour here. And I'm glad
Absolutely.
to be able to say like I'm from the 513, even if there's people from here that don't necessarily feel that way.
I think you're in a position though now, you have the power to like flip that, you know, those negative experiences into a positive, and like doing the canned food drive, coming back and doing this last show here, like you got the power yourself to make, you know, a really positive community.
Exactly.
You've
And
seen
for
it on
people,
tour, but you can do it here too.
You know, and for artists that like feel like I'm in Cincinnati and I can't come up out of here, like, you know, clearly you can.
Exactly.
There's a few artists that have come up
Yeah.
out of here and made a living off this shit.
A
So
lot of people look up to you, bro. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate
everybody
that.
is looking, you know, I know I don't speak just for us, but for a lot of artists around here, like everybody's watching you, and like
I appreciate
whether they're outwardly showing love or it's like jealousy, it's
Yeah.
all love at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
like everybody, you know, all artists would love to be in the position that you're in. It's just
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I definitely felt that after everything started happening. And it was funny when like I started blowing up and all these
yeah.
artists that I had been trying to reach out to for years and meet for years that I love
Finally
so
hit you
much
back.
started like DMing me, and I scroll up and they're like, and it's like a paragraph from me being like, "Hey man, like I love what you do. Like I'd love to like meet you or like hang out one day, or like
Yeah.
I'd love to get in the studio with you or like do that." And then like everything pops off and they're like, "Yo dude, you want to collab?" And I was like, this feels really like backhanded right now. Like it doesn't feel very great, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think, but I think to like, I guess I think all artists like kind of like deal with that. Like once you're blowing up, like people from your city,
Definitely.
that
That's
didn't
what I was
really,
gonna say next.
that was like half in, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out with you.
Yes.
Like that just happens. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
And like it's not something that I'm not gonna expect. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna expect it to keep on happening because like hopefully I keep growing and I keep doing better and like you know, it's a compliment. Like I take it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let's talk about the tour a little bit, man,
Let's do it.
because so we're recording this the day before the Cincinnati show right now. And as you said, you want to put on your best performance for Cincinnati.
Yes.
And Tanner, I am stealing your question here. 'Cause
ahead,
it's a good question, but it seems like the stars have been aligning on this tour, and your community and your fan base is showing you so much love, and like the love that they give you, how you engage with the music. Are there any like fan favorite moments that come to mind from the tour so far? You've done 17
Like favorite
shows?
interactions as far as my interactions with fans, or favorites as far as like
Just general.
what I think people are perceiving.
I think I was thinking more of like with a fan interaction, but I mean whatever
I think the
you
coolest thing
think.
is meeting kids. You know,
Like young kids.
We've
like
had a
young
lot of
kids.
10 and younger kids in the rooms.
Really?
Wearing a Jack Case t-shirt.
That's so sick.
holding up a sign saying this is my very first concert. You know, that
That's
shit's
awesome,
real.
dude.
First off, I'm like, are you okay?
You talk to the parents, you're like, is everything
Like, is
okay at
everything
home?
okay at home? Exactly, you know? No, but in reality, like, that's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I remember my first few shows. I remember when I was first a kid and feeling obsessed with an artist, and like, you know, to be able to have some kind of part in that for some kid, like that's the coolest shit in the world,
So dope,
dude.
bro.
They get to go and be like, oh, they're a real
And I bring every single kid on stage that I can. Like, you know, we've had a few kids on stage at the shows, and I'll play them their favorite song, and like, it's the coolest thing, you know?
Dude, that's awesome.
It's the
That is
coolest
so
thing.
Cool.
And then I think a tie is like meeting all the people that have resonated with it. All the people that are working on getting sober like I am.
Yeah.
That's the coolest shit in the world.
You probably get a lot of that at the shows, like afterwards,
You know,
people saying like,
I'm in-
hey,
yeah.
I'm going through this in your song.
Literally, I'm in AA,
Yeah.
and you know, I've met a lot of people that are working on getting sober on this tour, and there's this thing called the fellowship in AA, and it's all about service and community, and that's the best way to recover.
Right.
And you know, meeting these people, having conversations with them, is the most rewarding, the most fulfilling, and the coolest thing that I'll ever get to do in my entire life. And you know, there's this book in AA. It's called The Big Book, and
I used to think that's just what people called it.
no, it's called
but
The Big
it
Book
is
about
literally
about
called
Alcoholics Anonymous.
the Big Book. Yeah.
And I've had people bring their big book to a show and have me sign it and write messages in them for it.
That's
That's
awesome.
so sick.
And you know, I wasn't promoting that I was in AA before this. Like, it was kind of like a down low thing. So it's like through the grapevine, people hear that I'm in the program,
Right.
and they come to the show and they're like, hey man, like, your music has helped me get sober. Can you sign my big book for me? And I swear to God, I cry.
That's
It's
beautiful.
the most beautiful thing. I get in the car afterwards and I just break down.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing. And I swear that shit will keep me sober for years on end. Like, that is the coolest thing in the world.
It's crazy that they say that you saved them, but I'm sure it's
They
right,
have
right
no
back to
fucking
you.
idea. That's what I say every time. They're like, man, you saved me. I'm like, you have no fucking clue, man. Like,
Yeah.
I simply would not be here without this.
Dude, that's very touching, very moving to
Dude,
hear.
it's the coolest shit.
Yeah.
For real.
Tanner, I want you to ask, because we're
We're
winding down here. We're nearing the end, but I like the very last question that you have on here. I want you to ask that.
So, again, we're recording this a day before the sold out show.
Sold out show.
Jack's homecoming,
Son of a-
Cincinnati. It's gonna be at Top Cats. We were talking before the podcast, like you went from, you know, playing mock beat shows with 10, 20, 30 people
man.
there, basically empty.
Yeah.
You know, playing those types of shows to now, I'm guessing it's like 350 cap, but like there's gonna be over 400 people there with like everyone
With
on
everybody
guest
on the
lists
guest list.
included. 400 plus people, bro. Like,
It's a fire
and your
marshal
iconic song "Morbid Mind."
The fire marshal listening to this right now.
Fire marshal.
He's like, how many people are gonna be there?
But in your iconic song "Morbid Mind" that we all know and love, and we all know the lyrics, I can't go back home till my name is known. Do you think your name is finally known? Is it has that prophecy been manifested? Do you think at this point?
You know, Tom the mailman and I were talking about this. He was like, "Dude, we're freshmen." I was like, "You really think so?" Like, I feel like I'm not
That's
even
a great
freshman
way to
yet.
look
I feel like I'm in
into
7th or 8th grade. He was like, "No, dude, you are a freshman. Like, you know, like 50,000 followers on IG, a couple million monthly listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call myself friends with Travis Barker, an idol
crazy.
of mine. Like,
Yeah.
I like to think that my name is known. I'm live in DC now, right? And I would say 1 out of 5 times I leave my house, I get recognized.
That's crazy.
Not like leave my house.
Your
go to
fans
the
probably
grocery
know you
store. I'm
live there
saying,
now.
like, go to, like, if I like go out on the town, like on the strip.
Yeah.
1 out of 5 times I go to Georgetown or Adams Morgan, I'm getting recognized. And that is absolutely insane to me.
Yeah.
I like to think my name is known. I want it to be more known.
Yeah.
Not because I want to be famous or I want to be rich, but because I want as many people to be able to hear this message and be able to hear what I went through and think, wow, that's what I'm going through. Look at that guy, you know? I like to think that I've achieved that on some small level.
Yeah.
So I feel good coming back home and doing a show here.
I'm just like imagining tomorrow night when like I'm assuming Morbid Mind is gonna be like close to the end of your set.
It's one of the last songs.
Okay, yeah. But like hearing the whole crowd in
It's the last
Cincinnati,
song before I leave stage, and I
That's
do an
crazy.
encore.
I can't wait. I can't even imagine hearing the crowd say, "I can't go back
Yeah.
home till my name is known."
It's gonna be the
Like,
coolest
here-
thing, dude. Singing that song is crazy every single night. I mean, every song they sing the words. Like, it's the coolest. The show is the coolest thing in the world. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. Like,
I'm so hyped.
Can't wait, man.
I mean, we cry, we sway, we jump up and down, and then we just scream. And then I tell everybody to make a pit and run at each other, and they fucking beat each other up. Like, it is the coolest thing in the world.
I'm getting in the pit
And then
tomorrow
I
night.
play like acoustic music, like Morbid Mind, in the middle of the end, and people are jumping up and down like it's a hip hop track. You know, like, what, dude? It's the coolest thing in the world. And I'm like, I'm so happy to be able to end an insane 18 shows, to be able to have the 18th one end in my hometown.
Yeah.
Sold out, like on Short Vine. Fucking legend.
Yeah, dude.
On fucking
So
Short
rad,
Vine,
you know?
Goddamn
I
it,
used to
Short
frequent Short Vine.
Yeah.
Dude,
Rad.
all of us.
Like, so sick, dude. And I'm just grateful. And, you know, thank you to you guys for like helping me set it up.
Of course,
And
man.
Thanks to anybody watching that came to one of the shows or is coming to the Cincinnati show. Coolest shit in the world.
Yeah, man. We're happy to have you home, bro. Like, this has been a long time coming.
I'm happy to
from,
be here.
From when we first started working to doing the first show together, bro.
I'll tell you,
It's gonna be a moment.
I had to go to the bathroom really bad when I first drove into Cincinnati. Like, so bad. And we get to Top Cats. And I'm running to the Domino's across the street to go destroy their bathroom. And
Not
for
the
a
Domino's
brief
bathroom.
second, I'm looking around like, damn, I'm back.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, we are about to end it, but I can't leave this interview without asking you a cooking question. Look, let's keep it quick. Let's not get too crazy here. I want to know what meal. I'm going to give you a situation. I want to know what meal you're going to cook. Just give me a rundown. It's a Saturday morning. You slept in a little bit, not too late, but you slept in a little bit. You don't really have anything to do. You're going to take your time with your breakfast today.
Okay.
What is your meal?
My meal. It's actually quite simple.
Okay.
It's Turkish menemen, which is similar to a shakshuka. Have you heard of this dish?
I don't think so.
Lay
I'll
it out for
explain
me,
it to you.
please.
Saute some onions
Love it already.
and some red bell pepper. Or if you really want to go hard and go to a specialty grocery store, some shishito peppers. Okay.
I do like shishitos.
Finely diced.
Okay.
A little bit of tomato paste, right? And then take a tomato and on a cheese grater, grate the tomato into a bowl. Make a little pomme puree. Not a pomme puree, that's potato puree.
Yeah, that's
tomato puree.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, that sounds. Yeah, I'm with you.
In the pan with the pepper, the onion, and the
So you got tomato paste and tomato
paste.
puree.
The tomatoes in America aren't flavorful enough to make this dish on their own. In Turkey, you can do it with just the tomatoes.
Yeah.
But here they're too watery, so you have to have the tomato paste for the extra kick. All right?
Okay.
A little bit of water.
Okay.
Also, you should be sauteing your onions and peppers in a very healthy amount of olive oil.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of salt, nice fresh crack of pepper, and then let your tomato sauce cook, so it's like it could coat the back of a spoon,
Yeah.
and then take some eggs, crack them into the tomato sauce, scramble it up, and makes a nice bright orange scramble, right? Then you take some sourdough bread, throw it in the toaster, right out the pan. You crack some feta cheese over this.
Oh.
You take your bread, dip it right in the pan, get a nice heaping amount of that shakshuka, that menemen on your bread.
Yes.
Crunch into that hoe. And then when the pan's all done, you want to know what you do? You smear the bread in the nice infused olive oil at the bottom of the pan.
Yeah.
And a nice espresso macchiato.
Ooh, and the espresso to top it off
With oat
too.
milk.
Oat milk.
Do you
He's an oat milk guy.
Are you a splash oat milk or are you wait, you said you're making a macchiato?
Espresso macchiato, so 50%.
Yeah, you got to lay that out to me too.
Yeah, I have an espresso at home. So you get a cup that's like a little bit bigger than your shot. So your shot's gonna fill it 50%. And then you get a nice good foam going with your oat milk. And then you pour in the foam, and at the bottom of the foam machine there'll be a little bit of regular milk, and that milk will be the milk for the espresso. And it'll be the most incredible macchiato you've ever had in your life.
That sounds fucking incredible. You know this guy made it. He has an espresso machine at his house, bro.
Bro.
That's
Actually, my girlfriend's parents gifted it to us when they moved, so it was
Damn.
totally free, and I also had it in the basement
that's fucking awesome.
long before the record deal.
Man, well, that was a very fun time.
I hope your
man.
mouth is watering.
No, dude, well, you were like saute onions. I'm like, I'm with you. Bell peppers. I'm like, oh yes, this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about here, man. I love all of that, like Eastern European kind of
incredible.
like Balkan, area.
Like mixing Mediterranean with a little bit of European cuisine is like Turkish cuisine is my favorite food.
Yeah.
It's the best.
You all went over there last year?
Yeah, I've been a few times now.
Yeah.
We were there for like 3 weeks in the summer.
Yeah.
Chala's parents have like a little house out there that they spend their summers at.
You just eating fucking good
eat
tomatoes that a grandmother has grown.
Literally.
She's grown them for fucking 60 years,
They're
selling them at the
literally-
market.
It's in the farmer's market every week. They're like, buy our tomatoes straight from our tree to your table. It's the best.
That sounds
And they're
incredible.
like, we're windsurfing, eating good food, petting the street cats. It's incredible. I
hella
love
street
Turkey.
cats over in
Yeah,
Turkey,
dude.
right?
I actually, one day I plan to move out there and cut myself off and live in Turkey, but we're not there yet.
Not there, you there.
We got a few more years of touring and a couple more albums to drop, but we'll get there.
and a couple more podcast interviews.
Yeah, and a couple more
too.
Soul Serum
Couple more
podcasts.
podcast
Yes,
interviews.
sir.
You guys can come to Turkey and I'll host the Soul Serum
I would
podcast.
love to.
Now
That'd be
we're
sick.
talking. Now we're talking.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you everybody who has listened to this interview. It's been a long time coming. Is there anything else that you want to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank you guys for having me.
Thank
This
you.
is an incredible full circle moment.
Yes, sir.
And I'm grateful for every single person that is working at Soul Serum. And I'm grateful to have some sort of small part in the history of Soul Serum. It's an
It's rather
incredible
large.
honor.
You're humbling. You're very humbling, but it's rather large.
Have you guys seen the shows that you put on? Like, come on. I'm a blimp in the massive history that Soul Serum is. Like, I'm so lucky to be a part of this. And
Hey,
it's just
but
so cool to be here.
It's all
today.
led us to this show tomorrow night, bro.
Yeah.
Can't
Fucking
fucking
love
wait.
it,
For real. For real.
Thank you guys for having me, for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Soul Serum. You already know the vibes. Subscribe to us on the main page, on the TV page, on YouTube, TikTok, Discord, Twitch streams coming back every Wednesday. Man, fucking Google us, okay? Google us. We got a lot of things going on. As always, I am your host, Clay Bonine.
Co-host Tanner Mavis.
And I'm Jack Case.
And we'll see y'all next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Deuces.